Welcome back to the Shame Plays Let's Play series of Torment Tides of Numenera. We are now finally at the next part uh, of the adventure. We've left Sagas Cliffs, and now we are in the, I forget what the name of the Valley of Dead Heroes. That's where we're at now. We need to seek the first castoff's tomb. Now I need to locate the first castoff's tomb. The passage to Male Avest is supposedly inside the tomb. And we're looking for, I've learned the name of the castoff who helped build the residence chamber. He's called Mazoff, a talented builder and artificer. I hope to find him in Male Avest, a refuge of sorts for my castoff siblings. So when I first got here, they wanted me to help find somebody, and it seemed kind of nefarious. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, but I didn't actually take the quest. So there's plenty of stuff to look at around here. Interact. Touch, touch, touch. A lot of stuff going on here. Well, interact, look, loot. Let's go loot this.
I'm ready.
I'm glad you're ready, pal. Shins! What is this? These mooring posts are to keep ships from drifting off, or at least they were back when ships used to stop here. So
I'll handle it.
And I guess every now and then people still come to the Valley of Dead Heroes via the airships.
I'm ready.
What is this? I'm interacting with it. You pull the planks back. A crawl space extends behind them, with two small alcoves recessing the walls. They are remnants of grave markers and memorials from ancient times. One seems shallow. The other has been blocked by rubble falling from above. Both of them appear to have been built to hold bodies, but neither are occupied. Yet you can see a disturbance in the dust of the crawl space. Someone came by this way at least. Perhaps they're still here. Yep, let's look. Perception. Let's see. I can go up to 60% with him. 70% with her. 100%, but I have to spend a lot of that. Makina is my best bet, but I have to spend a lot of her points. Is that mind? I can't remember which one. Let's give her 85% chance. Alright, she made it. Critical success. Stat pull spin. Oh, good. She got all of her stat pulls, or stat pullback. You peer deeper into the gloom. The dust has been more than disturbed. You see footprints. After a few minutes, your diligence is rewarded. There is a third alcove at the back of the crawl space, hidden behind a great stone slab. The slab is held up by a stone the size of a human head, creating a small gap hardly half a meter high. You crouch down and peer through the gap. Two people are hiding in the space behind it. I wonder if it's the ones they're looking for. One of them, a bearded man with a kind expression, whispers to you, "Hold, friend, if friend you be. My name is Beltrax. This is Ranos Kaisel. Those cultists gave chase to us. Ranos knew of this small sepulchre in which we have hidden. We have nowhere left to run. They will murder us if you reveal our position." "Please," says Ranos. "Beltrax is but a visitor to this place. He has no part in our struggle with the children. Tell them that we have fled, that you couldn't find us. Cover your tracks. I'll deal with the cultist." I could trap them in there forever, which would be pretty mean. Or I could turn them over. I'm not going to do that. I'll deal with the cultist. So I think my compassion went up with the gold. "You have our gratitude. Good luck, friend." They watch you leave. Alright. There's no way I'm handing them over.
Fine.
You move the planks aside and get nothing more than a splinter for your trouble. The unmarked cliff wall is all that you see. Okay? What else we got here?
On it.
It looks like it's got markings on it. Oh, we gotta get 2 XP from that. Peering behind the sheetrock, you see only a faint etching in the stone, almost worn away by the passage of the years. It reads, "Sanity slipping, the tombs will hold my salvation." O. The letter O. I don't know if you can hear my cats, but they're hissing at each other. Okay, let's see what else is going on.
I'm going.
Good, you go. The alcove is vacant. Its only inhabitant, the blowing dust of the valley. Though it appears to have been built to hold bodies, it is curiously empty. What about this
On
one?
it.
You peer into this alcove. It's deep enough to hide people, but it's strangely empty. After a thorough investigation, you step away.
Yes.
You check the empty alcove thoroughly for hidden doors or panels, but your investigation reveals nothing. Alright, let me check this last one.
Ready.
You see faint traces of footprints in the dust. Closer examination reveals that someone must have stopped in front of this alcove for a moment. Your investigation turns up no sign of any hidden compartments. Okay. Sometimes if you
Yes.
look again, you'll
Now.
find more stuff. Sometimes looking again bears fruit, but I'm guessing not this time.
Go.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. Accidentally. I thought I was clicking here
Yes.
and I drug my mouse down. I thought something was about to happen. Okay.
One moment, and
Let's go
it's
talk
done.
to Clincard. Dude, I didn't find your people. There was no way I was going to turn them over. Have you, hold on a second. I'm about to have to cough or something. That's why I was like, I'm going to pause the video and then cough. Be right back. Okay. I can't find them and I'm done looking for them. He smiles his bloody smile. You will bring them here. You will. Okay. Try something. See, I can intimidate. Try something, you'll find your own spirit liberated in short order. Deception. Were you not aware that I have reinforcements? I will call them if I must. Deception. I looked. I didn't find them. I'll do that. Deception. Oh. 60%. 75%. They're hard to deceive. It hardly costs me anything. I get an 80% chance. Oh, I failed. Look at that. Then look harder. I'll say try something. You'll find your own spirit liberated in short order. What am I using here? Might to intimidate them? I'm not very mighty that way. Maybe Makina can do something. 55%. I don't want to use up a lot of my might here. I'll give it a 15% chance. This doesn't cost me anything to try for 15. I actually don't care. I kind of don't like these guys, so I'm kind of thinking I don't care if I get into a fight. I got a 15% chance, and I made it with a 15% chance. A critical success. He opens his mouth to speak, and his gaze lingers again on your tattoo. He closes his mouth quickly and raises his hands in the air. Stepping backwards, he motions to his compatriot that they should do the same. Compatriots, actually. Forgive our presumptions. We did not intend offense. Yeah, but you were kind of jerky. Please pass along. Yeah. So I guess you either have to intimidate, deceive, or fight them to get by because they're in front of the stairs. Oh, are these the people I saved? All right. Well, my friend, Beltrax says, I have no idea why you're so generous with your time and your life, but your bravery is beyond reproach. I have some small familiarity with the weapons I carry, but I'd rather not try my prowess against the three of them at once. And I vowed to Ronos that I'd keep him safe. I do not know how it is that they left without doing you harm. Is there any chance you might tell me? I'm going to say I'm a castoff of the changing god. They saw my tattoo and did not want to do me harm. I got a silver. He jerks back, shocked, then leads in to study your tattoo. I've never met one of you before, he says admiringly, though I've certainly heard of you. He lifts a brooch from his bandolier and shows it to you. This woman, she told me about the time she met one of your kind. He helped her escape the bloom out in Sagas Cliffs. Good fellow, I'm told. Wonder whatever became of him. Ronos. His companion is a slight, nervous man in a hooded robe of blue and white. He bows. I am sorry you had to face those cultists. We hid and, well... He bows, a small tremble in his hand as he does so. I have a favor to request. Those cultists, the children of the Endless Gate, they have overrun the Valley of Dead Heroes. They slaughter the visitors. They hound us, the memorialists, and have brought horror to every corner of this ancient place. Please, you have shown your mettle in dealing with these murderers. I beg of you, please find a way to make them move on. What if I refuse? He holds his hands up in despair. Then the cultists will slaughter all of us and overrun the valley, and all the knowledge we have accumulated over the centuries will vanish from the world for good. I'll do it.
Making a note.
I didn't ask for a reward either. Ronos sags with relief. Thank you, friend. The coming of the children has been a relentless nightmare for us. I wish you the best of luck. I'm looking for the tomb of the first castoff. Matt Keena, I know where it is. Isn't that why you asked me to come along? We need to get to the necropolis up along the cliff face. We'll have to use these minims to get up there, but it's easy enough. The minims. We'll have to use the minims to get up there. I don't know, but it's easy enough. All right. Ronos bows nervously. This is true. You must be strong or careful, though, or both. The children are vicious and unpredictable. All right. Tell me about the Valley of Dead Heroes. It has been a burial ground for the world for at least millions of years. Yet, and he holds up a finger like a lecturer, yet we have uncovered no bodies in the valley itself. Oh no, despite all the memorials, obelisks, urns above the ground, we have not been able to find evidence of a single body. Markers exist beyond counting. Some are in scripts we cannot understand. Some are in materials we have never seen. But the bodies themselves lie in a great space beneath the ground. Above the ground, there is no sign of life, none at all, except what we bring with us. Tell me about yourself. My true name is Ronos Kaisel of the Memorialists. I came here from Saga's Cliffs to inter my beloved wife. That was over a decade ago. I remained because I felt a close connection to the place, somehow. When I discovered the name of my true self, I knew this world is the afterlife, and the graves here are our own. Now I study the world of the living, hoping to bring others to the enlightenment I reached. Okay, interesting. Well, if you buried your wife here, dude, then so it's like you see bodies of people who are interred here or buried here in modern times, but not the millions of years. I don't see. It says there's no bodies here. Tell me about the memorialists. We're ordinary people, really. People who understand the truth that this world is really the afterlife and that the tombs here are our graves. We maintain the valley so that no name is forgotten, so that everyone can come here and remember their true selves. Once all the tombs have been claimed, we shall see a glorious resurgence of humanity. Likewise, if we allow the names to be forgotten, devastation will sweep across the lands. Okay, that's pretty weird. Alright, what about bell tracks? Hello again, my friend. What can you tell me about the valley? It's a vast graveyard of sorts, but you're not going to find any bodies here above ground. You'll need to get to the necropolis to find the real tombs. But to get there, you've got to use the minims, floating pools of light. And when you walk into one, you walk out its twin someplace else. Is this leading up to a teleport puzzle, maybe? Can you tell me any more about the minims? Not really, just walk in one, walk out the other. They're the best way to get around the valley. The only way in most cases. How long have the cultists been here? They came to the valley recently. Perhaps a month? Perhaps only a week or two? Maybe some of them have been here longer than that. I don't know. The children's arrival was slow and insidious. They didn't make the ruckus they're making now. Then a few days ago, they just went berserk, started abducting and slaughtering, and, well, here we are. Tell me about yourself. This sounds embarrassing when I say it out loud, but I came here to meet up with a sorcerer to quest for a fabled magic board. He shrugs. I haven't met the sorcerer yet, but I did meet a memorialist. She told me about the work they do here, about this being the afterlife, and that the names we bore in life are hidden in the valley and the names of the dead, who she called the truly living. I have to admit, that was about the most carked tripe I've ever heard. But she said something after. Shadows fall where they will, as they will. Meaning, if we're shadows of our other lives, then, like shadows, we can't control what we are. That stuck with me. What if she's right? He plucks one of the lockets from his bandolier, pops it open, and reveals a glowing image of a woman. He regards her wistfully. What if she's still alive somewhere? What if this isn't life? If I'm just a shadow waiting to step into the light? What if she's there waiting for me? It's preposterous, I know. You look at it from the outside, and but think about it. This world is flat and cold and empty. He looks at the woman's image again. It feels right to believe there's another life, one that feels like living. He closes the locket. So I've been learning more. Ronos was my guide through the valley when those carkers came up on us. We crawled into a sepulcher behind those boards, and, well, you know the rest. Uh, Alright, that's all for now. Farewell. Alright. And this is just for the airship, right? Yeah, wooden slats have been cobbled with ancient machine parts to create makeshift cargo pads. Though still functioning, they look like they've been cast aside and neglected.
In an instant.
They look to me like from the airship thing in Saga's Cliffs, but anyway. Alright. Let's go see what we can figure out here. This is interesting. That must be a minnim, I guess. A foul-smelling liquid pours out of these spouts to the rest of the valley far below. Its mist feels cool in the bright sun. Okay?
Go.
Go. Oh, what's that? That looks like something from my mind palace thingy.
Can you tell me stories about your childhood, Maddie?
It's Matkina. And let me answer that with a question. Do you like nightmares?
No.
Then you probably don't want to hear my stories, Rin.
Well, excuse her for asking. Statues are pretty cool. A faint humming emanates from these two statues.
Sure.
What in the world? I don't like that I can't look at it, that I can only interact with it. What the heck is all this stuff? Alright, let me look at this thing.
Yes. Now.
A patch of darkness hangs before you like a black spot on your retina, except it doesn't move when you move your eyes. Looking into it is like looking into an abandoned cave. No breeze or sound or shadows stir within it, and its edges are slowly disintegrating. I'm going to use my lore to try to determine what the heck this thing is. 70% chance. Yeah. See, it doesn't cost her anything here because she's increased her ability to use effort. So, only cost her 1 point to get a 95% chance. Though you have never seen one before, you're pretty sure this is a living thing. The name minnim comes to your mind. Minims are usually paired with another of their kind, and it is possible to travel from one to the other through the void that connects them. This one, however, seems to be dying, and the void within it has no other exit, as if it has lost its mate. You also notice that the disintegrating edges of the darkness are blowing away like ash or pollen. You can actually catch the flecks of darkness in your hand, but they dissolve away like black snow almost immediately. When you move closer, however, you accidentally breathe in several of the flecks. You stay very still for a few moments, listening to your body, but nothing seems to have changed in you, neither good or bad. Probably the flecks dissipated in your lungs just as quickly. Okay, I got it. Probably really stupid, but let's step in and see what happens. It's probably really dumb, but I just gotta pick the scab. The darkness surrounds you, You are whipped by it as if by a wind. It is a swirling vortex with no way ahead and no way back. The opening you pass through has vanished into utter blackness. A hell of tiny objects batters you in the dark, thrown by the wind. Rocks or bones or drit, you cannot tell. Then something large and sharp slams into you, and you wrestle with it for a moment before you realizing it's a skeleton, though not human. As you try to shrug it off, you feel an object in its hand. You pry it free, and the skeleton falls past you. Then the wind lofts you towards a bright spot in the darkness, and you tumble back out of the opening you entered, clutching the stolen object in your hand. Wow, alright. Step away from the darkness. I got a stem. Got a stem? No, it's an encephalic rust. Where'd that stem go? Didn't I get a stem? I have a stem. Oh, it's a cipher. Confers plus 45% on non-combat tasks. 4 uses. Nice. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that anymore. Alright. Let's go search up here before we go in any other. Oh, I recognize this. That's that symbol that the murder that was in the underbelly that I had to solve. That was the symbol that was drawn in blood, if I remember right. Could we find a fourth? A fourth? One who would join us? Who the heck is this? Blob of 3. So I wonder... There's this one. That one and that one. Alright, let's go mess with this one. Let's see what happens. A sliver of darkness hangs before you like the entrance of a cave, except there is no cave, only a tear in space. Within the darkness you see the glow of stars, and a cool night breeze wafts past you, carrying the scent of desert flowers and the echoes of sounds you are not hearing around you. If you step through that darkness, you might go anywhere, or maybe nowhere. It could be nothing but a shadow. Examine it more closely. The cool air that sighs through it seems to follow you. The shadow does not change, no matter your perspective. You have the discomforting feeling that your attention on it has drawn its attention to you, that it is somehow examining, analyzing, and assessing you. Alright, walk into it. Because that's what these things are for, right? You step into the darkness and it envelops you, then dissolves you into twinkling motes, drifting in a spear of light. The light carries you through a black void, weightless, bodiless, selfless, toward another patch of starry sky. Then suddenly, you are somewhere else. I am. Okay. Sure, why not? So, I guess this one sends me... I guess these two are connected. Alright. What is this?
Yes.
A large upside-down pyramid floats before you, lit from below by a soft white light. There's the soft white light. It is made of weathered stone, but you can see lights and hear a faint buzzing through the cracks in its crumbling facade. Alright, examine it. You study it from every side. There's no inscription to explain why it was erected or by whom, nor is there any obvious way to interact with it. You do notice that the light from inside the crack seems to follow your hand, or the cracks seems to follow your hand as you slide it across. So perhaps it is reacting to you after all. Yeah, let's use Lore Mystical. And get a 65% with him. 100% with her. 100% with her. 75% with Ren. Yeah, let's use Callous Stage. It doesn't. I get 100%. I don't even have to burn any effort. Yeah. Success. You slide your hands across the pyramid, following not the cracks but the symbols and etchings on its surface. After a great deal of experimentation and not a small amount of luck, you discover a specific pattern which causes the light to grow in intensity. As it does so, a soft warmth envelops you, refreshing your body and mind. As you feel better, however, the pyramid seems to grow more dim. So I restored some intellect. You stop, not wanting to waste the pyramid's obvious healing power just yet. It should be saved for a time when you really need it. Yeah, let's examine it again. Leave it alone. So at a right angle, this looks like it says 3D. Just want to point that out. I can't remember, did it have 4 dots on it before? Like, did using it once take away one of these little purple dots? I don't
All
know.
right.
See what else going on around here.
Yes.
Now.
Now.
Birakel Bruena. So this is spilling down there into there, which is spilling out here. Right. Blah. Well, that's a pretty cool looking statue. Yeah, what's that? That's pretty neat looking.
Like a whisper.
Oh, what's up? Who's this dude? Birakel Bruna. This androgynous woman projects an air of fearsome will. Her muscles are thin and wiry, and her body screams of sharp edges. She seems like a human stiletto. Her head is shaved, and she bears the tattoo of a castoff on her scalp. Okay. Never seen you before, she says. I'm Birakel Bruna. She starts scanning the cliffside. How long you been awake since he moved out? Of your body, I mean. He's not joining Padge, Birakel, not if I have anything to do with it. He's not joining Padge, Birakel. Oh, so I guess they already know each other. Not particularly interested in recruiting anyone, Matkina. Not my mission. She faces Matkina. You still mad about Colm? Still carrying that grudge? She looks at you and jerks her thumb at Matkina. All the people she fought so hard to save, they're all dead. Natural causes, she shrugs. But you don't carry a grudge for natural causes. I'm starting to remember why I left Mael Evest. Starting to remember why we encouraged you to leave. She turns back to you. Anyway, was on my way to Mael Evest with a message for Paj Reckon, but the portals are blocked. The cowards heard someone say the Sorrow's hunting again, so they locked the doors behind themselves. Paj will get her message later. I need to return to the Endless Battle. And the Endless Battle again. Tell me about Paj Reckon. She flashes a quick look of surprise. Oh, right, you're new. Paj is commander of the First's militia. Took up the mantle, keeping our cursed sire's forces contained. Smart woman. Tough. Why would you fight the changing god? She sighs. He's going to kill all of us. Kill us all if he gets the chance. He wants to erase us. Thinks that's the way to stop the sorrow. We're not his children to him. More like broken clones. Byproducts. He'd never sacrifice himself, but that's because he's the only real person in his world. I thought the first was dead. She is. Paj kept the name in the first honor. She doesn't care for the glory. Besides, our creator's carked. Fighting him's the best bet. Using the first name reminds everyone why we fight. What's this message you have for her? Maybe I could deliver it. Endless battle intelligence. Not for you. Alright, let's talk about something else. Tell me about the endless battle. If it's really endless, why keep fighting? She shrugs. Makes us stronger, faster, deadlier? More of what we are. Strips away the dross of life and makes experience shine. Peacetime life is dull and worthless. Like watching life go past through a veil. War clarifies life. Makes us better. Endless is a good thing if you keep that in mind. What can you tell me about Mael Evest? She stares at you flatly for a moment. You feel a tickling at the back of your mind, and she shrugs. See for yourself if you can get in. They've locked themselves away. Think they're going to find answers while they're tucked away from the world. She shrugs. Place has its uses, true, but it's mostly a bolt hole from the world. Death comes for us all. Malavest is just a place to prolong the waiting. What's cowardly about keeping the sorrow out of Malavest? Hasn't found them there for hundreds of years. But now they say it's time to close the doors like it's going to traipse in. Been telling them that if the sorrow tries hard enough, it'll get in. You can't stop that kind of power. On that, this is McKenna, on that we agree. Malavest is a false hope. She nods at your sister. This is Barricale. Always were smart about that. Pity you're not so reasonable on the rest. How are you going to get back to the endless battle? She points. I was looking at the path to Colton Village, but it collapsed. Doesn't seem to be any way over these mountains either. No matter. I'll find a different way. She glances at you sidelong and sneers. Sooner rather than later, I think. Huh. Okay, I'll be seeing you. No, you won't. I'm done looking for a way over these twice damn mountains. Gonna find a different way out of the valley. Been real good talking with you, though. The tone in her voice makes you question the veracity of that statement. Wait, you're leaving? I mean, no, later, let her go. See you later. With that, she strides off. Well, she was pleasant. Alright. Thelana, Luca, Donovan. And there's stuff to look at. Let me look at it. I want to look at it. A recent landslide has closed off what was once a pass out of the valley. Okay, what's this? These packs are lived out of, but appear ready to leave at a moment's notice. They smell faintly of herbs and ozone. Okay, let's talk to some people here then. Hello, Thelana. Thelana Marquarith. You see a slender woman covered in warm brown robes leaning over the fire, the cowl pulled low over her head. Her skin is a dark bronze color. Here to interrogate me? She pulls back her cowl enough for you to see that her long hair is more silver than brown, and the years of life on the road are apparent in her face. She looks weary and exhausted except for her eyes, which burn like golden fire. I'm Thelana Marquarith. What do you... Her eyes alight on your tattoo and she hisses. Skist! You're all over the place here, eh? Look, I can't tell you anything, alright? We're done with fighting. What are you talking about? She looks confused for a moment. You're a castoff. So you're either here to drag us back or kill us. She turns to her side and pauses as if listening to words that you cannot hear. Then she responds, no, I suppose you're right. Still, he's a castoff. Who are you talking to? My men. Zad reminded me not all castoffs are endless battle, but Tempo wants me to be careful with you. She holds up a finger. People have said they're not there because they can't see them, but they can see you, so let's not have that conversation. She settles back. So, are you here to kill us? To tell on us? I have no part in the endless battle, but answer some questions for me. She breathes out a low whistle. All right, good. Sure, we'll answer anything we can. I only see Donovan and Luca here. Where are Tempo and Zad? She closes her eyes and pinches the bridge of her nose. If you can't see them, it's no fault of mine. Frankly, they're lucky they don't have to talk to you. She whispers to you. This is Calistage. This poor woman sees nothing. None but her exists in these other realities. She is suffering from shock and guilt. Looks like you've been resting here a while. Is it safe? She chews the question over a while and then shrugs. Safe for us, she says sourly. For you? She eyes her companions and they give a slight nod. We can make it safe for you. It'll cost, though, 100 shins. Forget it. I had other questions. Alright. What are you doing here? Camping. Trying to figure out our next step. Came through Colne with reluctance and decided it wasn't the best place to plan. Thought we'd get a clearer perspective down here. She frowns. Instead, there's some sort of cult war going on. We've got to leave sooner rather than later. She nods her head as if receiving compliments from an unseen audience. Kina, hold, you came through Colm? What was it like there? She mutters to you. Haven't been back for centuries, not since Tosh. I couldn't bear the thought of it. Thalana, mostly empty. Place cleared out mysteriously a while back, and then some new people moved in. But the proximity to the endless battle and the strange cave up on the mountain scared off all but the strangest people. Wouldn't stay there long on account of not wanting to get eaten. Place is a dust bowl. Not worth a thing. Akino, all for nothing, she murmurs. She fakes a cough and wipes some imaginary dirt from her eyes. She nods brusquely. This is Kina still. Looks off in the distance. She says nothing. Evidently, I guess maybe she tried to help people in Colm centuries ago. I don't know. What can you tell me about the endless battle? Oh, no. It's too much. Too much horror. She shuts her eyes tight and shakes her head. When she opens them again, her eyes are cold. You want to know about the endless battle? Talk to my crew. Hear from those who ran. Why they ran. And maybe I'll tell you what I think. I'd like to rest here safely. Fine. Price is still 100 chins. Wow, that's a lot. Well, I guess if I need to rest, I've got almost 500. Forget it. I had other questions. All right. Let's talk about... tell me about yourself. Me, Donovan, Luca, Tempo, Zad, and all the rest. They're my crew, my men. We're just trying to find a way home from the endless battle. We came through Colm, but... She waves a hand at the pile of rubble. It's not exactly a forgiving route. Just trying to figure out where we go next. Her sleeve slips with her gesture. You can see that her skin does not simply look metallic. It is metal. She catches you looking and tugs her sleeve back down, annoyed. A price of the endless battle. One of the reasons I left. I used to think I'd earn glory there. Thought my nano skills would propel me high. Only room in that exalted air is for castoffs. The rest of us bleed while you lot laugh. That's why we got out. Okay, farewell. We talk to her companions. What's up, Donovan? The man looks up at you momentarily before looking away into the distance at nothing in particular. He takes a drag on his smoke. His presence strikes you as odd, as if something about him were trying to inspire dread in you. What can you tell me about the valley? Nothing. Just dust and memories. What's your name? Donovan Russ. He flickers a gaze at you, then stares off into the distance again. What are you doing here? Trying to get home? He stabs the smoke at Thalana. You got questions, talk to Thalana. You've already met her, right? You met her, yeah? Yeah? He inhales another mouthful of smoke. Thalana says you're deserters from the endless battle. Oh, I got 2 XP. He stops breathing. The smoke falls from his nerveless fingers, and his face goes slack with terror. He starts shaking, and a single sob breaks from his throat before he snaps back to reality. The flat expression settles back onto his face, and he picks up his dropped smoke. He takes a deliberate drag, and only then does his tension ease. No. All right. Can't you tell me anything about the endless battle? His breath hitches, but he controls his reactions this time. No. See it yourself. Farewell. All right, let's talk to Luca. The man is busy reading a strange device, an elegant square of some kind of metal. Odd letters and images flash by on a reflective screen embedded in the square. When you draw near, you notice that the device is plugged into his arm with a long silver wire, and one of the man's eyes is mechanical. Greetings! His voice is kind, though it buzzes like a rattling sheet of scent still. I am Luca Marigali. He gestures with the book. Sometimes I read in the older tongue. I uncover great knowledge this way. For instance, his metal eye stutters and clicks, and a tinny voice emerges from the pad. The formal education of the young begins in utero, with nervous system uptake inhibitors and microwave transmissions to developing fetal brain. He clicks it off. You see? I do not know the species to which this refers, but I begin to know of them. At any rate, what can I do for you? Calistage. I would very much like to examine you with your permission. Perhaps we can speak of what you have learned? I would enjoy the opportunity to share my knowledge with someone who can understand my words. Perhaps we can begin to speak of what I have just read. Of a certainty, she murmurs, stepping close to examine the man. They speak in low voices to each other as she runs her hands across his prosthesis. At last she smiles, thanks him for his time, and backs away. Fascinating, she says. His realities have been smashed together, and it is not merely his mechanical brain that makes him distant and emotionless. It is the juxtaposition of multiple words. His singular humanity is broken. Speak to him yourself, and judge his affect yourself. What was your name again? Did I not introduce myself? He closes his eyes. I did. I said greetings. I am Luca Marigali. Perhaps your memory storage has been corrupted. He seems concerned. Tell me about yourself. He nods. I have spoken my name already. The knowledge of my character is thus more important. I was a soldier. I travel with my friends. I and my friends travel to our home. Or at least, this is our plan. He leans close. I admit to concern for my friends. They seem trapped in the past. Paralyzed. They are not as they were when we set out. He gestures to the mechanical extrusions on his own body. Nor, to be fair, am I. Can you tell me anything else about yourself? He frowns. I am unwilling to commit personal details to a stranger. I have told you what I am willing to share. No more. What do you mean when you say your friends are different? They were full of hope once. We, and a dozen others, set out from our home in Aldea, west of Saga's Cliffs, to find fortune in the endless battle. We joined a recruiter in Saga's Cliffs and enlisted with the army of the changing god. We thought we were prepared. We were prepared. We were not. We were in trenches. We fought with bolt throwers, energy weapons, and detonations. That first day saw half our friends obliterated by a rogue particle wave that emanated from our side of the battlefield. And then we woke up again in a new reality, our memories of the old world intact but our bodies whole. Except for Tempo, who was half dissolved in this new reality. So it went, incremental gains as a whole, with certain consequences carrying into new lives. Sometimes they would undo all our days of heroism for an unseen advantage. Other times we'd lose a friend forever. One day, I was caught half out of a trench. The air exploded above us, and I burned. The new reality did not restore me. I spent some weeks under the care of Chirurgeons. When I awoke, I was as you saw me, and our friends had been killed. Thelana and Denovan reacted very differently to me. They say I too have changed. I don't know. I know that I no longer fear. I do not remember much of emotion. I recall the fear and horror, but I do not recall its taste. And when I spoke to them, they agreed that it was time for us to leave. To leave before we became these forgotten names, lost in the flux of worlds. That was pretty good. Thelana says you're deserters? He frowns. Yes, we have left our posts. But I do not believe we have deserted. I believe we have become aware. If the battle is endless, then our struggle means nothing. If our struggle means nothing, why should we continue to struggle? You could just as well be talking about life. If life has no meaning? If life has no meaning, why continue to struggle? Blue and red, huh? Perhaps the struggle is not for life itself, but to find life's meaning. Or perhaps it is a biological imperative. Chemistry and instinct are powerful motivation. His metal shoulder shrugs. It doesn't matter, though. We will not be going back. What can you tell me about the valley? Or can you tell me anything else about yourself? Yeah, he doesn't want to commit personal details. Okay, what can you tell me about the valley? It is a dry place. I tasted the water that bubbled up nearby. It was alkaline and induced strange visions. My new metabolism protected me from the worst of it. Had my friends tasted it, they might have died. He looks down at his metal pad. We have found no bodies, nor anything of value. All is quiet. But this is a waypoint, not a destination. Right? Tell me about the valley again. I would not remain here long. It is inimical to life. Inimical to life. All right, farewell. Okay, so here's a place where I can, they're basically like the inn. I can come here and rest for 100
Yes.
shins.
Now.
So, the mask. So it's about 45 minutes into this video. I'm going to go ahead and teleport back. Now I can heal here. I can rest here. I don't know what this is yet. But I'm going to go ahead and teleport down.
Yes.
I'm assuming that I teleport back to where and originally they said they have twins. So walk into the darkness. Yeah. Okay.
Of course.
So next video we'll search up in here, talk to people, find out what's going on. Again, this is that symbol that was where the victim was murdered in the underbelly in Saga's Cliffs. So I'm sure we'll start learning more about that. Lots more to discover. Again, this heals us. There's a camp, which is where we can rest up. Anyway, we will keep exploring the Valley of Dead Heroes on the next episode of Shane Plays. Let's Play series of Torment Tides of Numenera. Thanks so much for watching. Please leave me a comment and a thumbs up. That helps out tremendously. And, also consider subscribing to the channel. I have a lot of different content, not just Let's Plays, but a lot of good geeky content, including a lot of interviews with very cool geeky people. So anyway, we'll catch you next time on Shane Plays. Thanks for watching.